Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Today's topic is going to be, you can't get rid of pain by ... I'll get to that in a second. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Welcome to Monday. Let's take a couple of nice deep breaths. Let's just Finn over there make a little noise. Breathe in the peace. Exhale the noise. Breathe in the clarity. Exhale the doubt, the uncertainty. Breathe in the calm. Exhale the chaos. So, you can't get rid of pain by thinking about pain. So, everybody's going to go, what do you mean? How can I stop thinking about pain? It hurts so much. So, I've been around this TMS community for a couple of decades now. And there are so many people who are just really trying to overanalyze every thought, move, behavior, emotion. And they're doing it primarily to get rid of the pain, right? Because they learn, well, maybe my body's not the problem. And so if the pain's created by the brain, I need to figure out how to think properly to get rid of it. The problem is, the more we think about the pain, the more we try to figure it out, the more we try to think correctly to get rid of the pain, all we're doing is really keeping it going, right? Assuming the pain is a decision made in the brain, which it is, based on perceived dangers of all types, thinking about the pain is going to actually keep those neural circuits firing, or those neural pathways connected, right? So thinking about the pain is not the way to go. And the analogy I'll use is, it's like trying to forget a foreign language by speaking it. It's not going to work. You're just reinforcing it. So that's why so much of the process and the recommendations I have is to shift our focus away from the pain. The challenge with that is that it's impossible to do when you're terrified of it, right? You're just not going to be able to shift your focus away from something that scares you to tears. But it is really important, as much as possible, not to ignore the pain, but to engage in life. Because trying to ignore the pain is just really going to reinforce it. It's like you're running away from that. I'm trying to get away from that, which is still all about the pain. So, thinking about the pain more and trying to figure it out, or so you can think properly about the pain. You know, I was talking about this either with a coaching client, and they were trying to figure out how to correct their thinking. And I was joking. I said, you know, you're trying to fix your thinking by thinking about your fixing because you think your thinking is incorrect thinking, so you're going to think about how to fix your thinking. And you wonder why we're spinning in circles. You know, and one of the concepts which I have is that we just simply don't have to take our own thinking so seriously. We can just be okay with whatever thoughts are whizzing by. We have 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. It's very likely that many of those thoughts are not true. Many of those thoughts are not beneficial or helpful in any way. And it's very much possible that many of those thoughts we can just simply leave alone, right? And if this sounds a little bit like, you know, Sid Banks and the Three Principles, that's kind of where I got this concept from. Now, I'm not a deep student in Sid Banks and the Three Principles, but I do like the fact that the thought is just a thought. It has no meaning. It's just a blip, a neural circuit blipping through our brain. We don't have to do anything with it. And if a thought is not beneficial or not helpful in any way, Why do we linger on it and ruminate on it and believe that we're doing something wrong? Just whoosh, let it go by. So we really can't get rid of pain by thinking more about the pain. It just isn't going to work. And I think the people who are struggling in the TMS community are those that are viewing TMS as a huge problem to solve, right? And sometimes as I speak to people and I listen to them explaining all of their efforts and trying to solve the problems, it's like watching a mathematician writing on the chalkboard, and the math problem spans the whole blackboard. But the problem really isn't as big as that, right? We can very much overcomplicate this process of recovery from TMS once you get to the very basic foundation. TMS means that you're not broken. Your body's fine. You just got to teach the brain that. And again, I've talked a lot in the past week or so, or 2 weeks, about perceived danger pains. And those dangers can be emotions, thoughts, work stress, family stress, self-critical thoughts, self-judgments, physical movements, physical body positions, right? Any of those perceived dangers can actually spark an increase in symptoms. Actually, even things like thirst and hunger. Evolutionary-wise, those are perceived dangers. Like, wow, I'm hungry. I need to get food. I'm in danger. And I was just talking to somebody today who said when they get really hungry, they start to get anxious, like in a panic. And I connected the dots there. I said, well, that's a perceived danger, which may be why they start to feel this anxiety and panic just because they're hungry. Now, logically, realistically, they weren't truly in danger. But to a slightly hypervigilant brain and nervous system, even something as simple like hunger might be perceived by the brain as, uh-oh, I'm in danger, subconsciously, not consciously. And that may elevate the entire system. So, how do we resolve this? Notice when you feel like you're in danger. If your symptoms go up, say, well, what's the danger? What was just going on? I don't know. You don't have to overanalyze it. But sometimes connecting the dots between perceived danger and an increase in pain or an onset of pain can definitely help you. Now, why does it help? Because it gives you clarity that that's all that's going on. So, back to the topic here. We don't get rid of pain by thinking more about the pain. We get rid of pain by thinking less about it, placing it on the last of the priority list. Like, this is not significant, important, or critical, because at its core, there's nothing to fix, so why are you spending all day long doing it? And one of the things I think I've mentioned in a coaching call is, how much time would you spend fixing a car that's working well? Right? You probably wouldn't. So, don't spend all day long, or even a big percentage of your day, thinking about how to get your pain. It's not the answer. The answer is to make living your life, engaging in life, connecting with others, finding joy, purpose, meaning, self-care, self-love, self-compassion. Make that your priority, because there's really nothing to fix, right? And I know I'm giving you suggestions on how to fix yourself by not trying to fix yourself, and that sounds like fixing, but it's really not. It's like, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten messages or spoken to people and they said, you know what, Dan, indifference, when I got that and I realized that I just don't have to make fixing myself a priority and I can just literally focus on living my life, that's when things turned the corner for me. That's what people have told me countless times. So, we don't get rid of pain by thinking about pain. And we don't actually control our thinking by thinking about our thinking, because our thinking is stinking thinking, and so let's think about how we can fix our thinking. Right? We're going in circles, in circles, in circles, in circles. What if we can just let all of that stinking thinking just float on by? Say, well, let me shift my attention towards what I want, what I would like to do, what I would like to create. That's where I think our focus should be. If you're having a challenge focusing on things like that because of the pain, utilizing the accurate knowledge to know deeply, truthfully, that TMS means you're not broken. So oftentimes that accurate knowledge and acceptance that there's truly nothing going on here that needs to be fixed can help you dial down the fear, shift your attention back to whatever it is that you'd like to create in your life. And when you take away the fuel and the attention, or the fear and the attention, you've taken away the fuel sources for chronic symptoms. So, hope you made some connections here. Hope this made sense to you. Think less about the pain. Make it insignificant in your view. Yes, it is disturbing. Yes, it is freaky. Yes, it is painful. No, it is not pleasant. But the way out is not to focus on it more. The way out is to focus on it less by dialing down the fear so that you can focus on your life. And it can be that simple. Challenging, but simple. So with that, I'm going to wrap this one up. Love you guys and gals, and I will see you tomorrow.